Thanks for logging in to the City of North St. Paul McKnight Watermain Improvement Project. We're going to wait just a few more minutes as people get logged in. We'll start our presentation soon.
All right, I think that's a couple minutes. What do you say we get started here?
Go ahead, Veronica, take it.
All right. My name is Veronica Kubasek. I'm one of the engineers on the McKnight Watermain Improvements Project. Also here today, I guess maybe I'll just do quick introductions from the other panelists real quick. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves or should I state name and title?
Yeah, we can all introduce ourselves, I think. Veronica, thank you. Welcome, everyone. My name is Morgan Dolly. I am the North St. Paul City Engineer, and I'll turn it over to Brad Reifstack next.
Thanks, Morgan. Yeah, my name is Brad Reifstack. I work with WSB as well. I will be the project manager for this project on behalf of the city. Maybe I'll turn it over to Brian Frendel.
Hi, this is Brian Frendel. I'm North St. Paul City Manager.
I guess I'll go. My name is Ron Ritchie. I'm the North St. Paul Public Works Director. I'll turn it over to Randy Miller.
I'm Randy Miller, North St. Paul Public Works Supervisor.
I guess I'll go next. I'm Justin Babcock, and I'm also with WSB, graduate engineer.
And the last one on there was Mark Lynch. He's our on-site representative. Sometimes maybe his mic isn't working right now. Brian, I believe you wanted to say a few words before we got going here.
No, just go ahead. I think we're ready to go.
Okay, sorry.
Thank you. No problem.
Misinterpretation on my part there.
No worries.
Okay, all right, we'll get rock and rolling here. Thank you for coming and taking the time out of your night to come and get the background information on this project. The first slide we have is tips and tricks during the meeting. So you should be able to see the chat function, raise hand function, and Q&A. You can use any of these to ask a question. We're going to save them till the end, I think, though, because there is like a common Q&A session, and your question might be answered then. So to the next slide then. This one talks about how to stay informed. We can't stress enough how important it is to stay informed because things change so quickly with construction, and this is the quickest way that we can get you updates. We do them at a week, once a week at a minimum, and you can do that online by going to northstpaul.org, street and utility projects, McKnight Watermain Improvement, or you can sign up for text, which is really sweet. That's how I have it. You just text McKnight to the phone number 38276. If you have questions or you need help setting up alerts, call this phone number 651-747-2400. That's City Hall's number, and they'll They'll walk you through anything you need or get you in touch with us. And you can also email as well. The other option there. So the agenda today, we're doing the presentation for the first 15 minutes, the common FAQs for the next 15 minutes, open Q&A for the last 15 minutes. And we're going to end it with a video. It's a reconstruction video, street reconstruction. So it'll kind of explain things a little bit above and beyond what our project is. So first off, the project location. So we're on McKnight Road, which is a county road, and we're going to be replacing the water main from 11th to 17th. Well, I guess actually 11th to 12th, we're going to be adding water main because there's none there today. And that's because we have a county mill and overlay project that's coming through next year in 2024. So before they mill and overlay the road, which I guess, so a mill and overlay is where they take off the first couple inches of blacktop, and then they'll repave that to extend the life of the pavement. And before they get in there and do that, we're gonna dig up parts of the road to replace the water main so that we don't put holes in their new blacktop. Okay, so project phasing. The contractor is going to set up traffic control and temporary water service. And this is another reason it's really helpful if you're signed up for alerts, because we can let you know when exactly that is. We're going to get into scheduling on the next slide or two, I believe. But overall, this is how the project's going to go. The contractor is going to set up traffic control. McKnight will remain open. The northbound lanes are going to be closed, but the southbound lanes are going to be open. We're going to have one lane of traffic that goes north and another lane of traffic that goes south is the plan right now. After they have the temporary water service set up, they're going to use directional drilling and pipe bursting methods to install the water main. And I added in this picture. I just got it off of Google to help kind of explain what that is, because it's really a neat process. They have the old cast iron pipe. That's the orange one on the right there. And it's really brittle, and that's why we're replacing it. It's old. I believe it's 70 years old from our as-built. But what the contractor will do is they'll dig 2 pits, and on the receiving pit, they'll put down basically a string, and they'll hook up the new pipe to that string, and they'll pull it through, and it's a torpedo, that guide head, that'll break the old pipe and put in that new bendable pipe. It's HDPE, which makes it okay to bend. It's not as brittle as that old pipe. After the new main water main is installed, they're going to connect water services from the main to the property line, but not past the property line, so you'll be getting new curb stop. And after that's all done, they're going to restore the blacktop and concrete and restripe the road. And then next year, the county's going to mill and overlay. We did get a schedule from the contractor. They're planning to start on April 17th. We're usually hesitant to put in dates because things do change, but that is what they're thinking right now. They're trying to start as soon as possible. And it should take a couple of months to get through the items that we talked about on the previous slide. This is a weather dependent schedule. So anytime it rains, or if it floods, or if it takes longer for the ground to thaw, it's going to affect our construction schedule. So please sign up for alerts. All right, frequently asked questions. So what work is proposed? The City of North St. Paul is replacing the water main, and it should last 50 to 70 years, I believe. Morgan, you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong on that. I know we were talking about that the other day. And this is going to be done along McKnight Road from 11th Avenue to 17th Avenue, ahead of Ramsey County's Mill and Overlay project next year. Next.
I can jump in on that. Yeah, so that's correct. I mean, this new water main should be anticipated to last at least 60 to 80 years, if not longer, as new plastic pipe. And so resetting the infrastructure life cycle clock with this project on the water main.
All right, thank you. Thank you. How much notice will be given regarding the schedule of anticipated construction activity? Frequently, at least once a week. We try to give alerts sooner, as soon as we know if it impacts traffic, especially. Carrie does a really great job getting things on social media and on the website and sending out the alerts on that Text McKnight, McKnight hotline, which is right here again. Friendly reminder, text McKnight 238276. And invite your friends. Let them know. Excited. Will you have access to your driveway? Yes, residents will have access to your driveways. They shouldn't be impacted on a reconstruct project. If you have a concrete driveway, we're putting in a concrete apron. We'll ask residents to park on the street for a little bit, but we're not impacting any driveways. When they fuse the pipe, we'll have to see if they do that, because the HDP pipe that we're going to be installing comes in sections. And so they have to glue those sections together before they can start putting it into the ground. So when they do that, they might do that along the side street, but they might also do it along McKnight Road itself. We'll have to see how that one goes, but you'll have access, and we'll provide notice as soon as feasible. What are the project's working hours? The city of North St. Paul has work for the contractor permitted Monday through Friday between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. Saturday 9 to 5, but no work on Sundays or on holidays. And I don't think in their schedule that they had any Saturdays scheduled, so I wouldn't be anticipating that. But if they do work on a Saturday, we'll definitely send out a notification that that's the case. Will areas of my lawn that are disturbed be replaced? Your lawn shouldn't have great disturbance to it, but if we do disturb something, we will replace it. The big thing with lawn restabilization is that the contractor is responsible for watering and keeping it alive for the first 30 days until it's established. And after it's established, then it's the responsibility of the resident or property owner. Next question, landscaping features and lawn irrigation. How are these systems dealt with during construction? The contractor is going to protect as many items as they can. I know we have some small retaining walls and landscaping features on there. This goes for irrigation and dog fences as well. We really appreciate if you can let us know where the dog fences are to help the contractor avoid them. But if they do get broken, or the landscaping wall needs to be removed, it'll be reinstalled like it was before the project. Special deliveries, weddings, graduation parties, garage sales, how are those addressed during construction? If you know about something, please let us know so that we can coordinate it in the field. If we know ahead of time and we can coordinate with the contractor, it'll go smoothly. Then we'll be all on the same page, right? Open communication is it's very important to us. Where will construction vehicles and materials be stored overnight and over the weekend? So we were talking about the pipe, but they'll also have large equipment to be installing the pipe. And this is temporarily stored within the city or county right-of-way in the boulevard adjacent to the project location. They're not going to be stored on private property, and it's not going to be blocking your driveway. There might be times during the day when they're moving pipe or something where they're in front of your driveway for a couple minutes, but it's not going to be for very long, and it won't be overnight. Okay. I think I went a little fast there. So we're already at Q&A. Do either of you guys have questions?
If you'd like to ask a question, please use the raise hand feature on Zoom and we'll unmute you.
Think we can probably move forward.
Oh, all right. Moving on. Want to put the contact.
We have a question.
information-
Sorry. I'm gonna
Okay.
unmute you. Is the question coming in now?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, good. Thank you. Kristen Malfelling, we're on the west side of McKnight off of 13th. Will there be a water shutdown at certain points for all of the neighbors that are on both sides of McKnight, or how will that work?
Yep. So if you're connected to the McKnight Watermain, which I think you are if you're on the west side there, you'll be set up with temporary water service before they replace the pipe, and then after they have the new pipe installed towards the end of the summer, then they'll connect you, and there will be a temporary shut off, but I don't think you'll notice it. Do you have anything further on that, Brad or Morgan?
Yeah, I think, maybe Mark Lynch or Brad could just comment for Christine's benefit of what the typical switchover. So there is a time where the water is turned off just to switch a home over from the old water main to the temporary water service. It tends to be a short time, and it tends to be during the day, and you will be notified for that. But Brad, Mark, what's the typical kind of switchover time in terms of when water might be shut off as we're transitioning some of these homes?
Well, usually we do send out notices that there's going to be a temporary shutdown. We would like to think that it's going to be no more than an hour or so to get everything switched over. Usually it's no more than an hour to get everything switched over.
Will there be, maybe to add, will there be like dirty water or silk in the line for a period of time? I mean, will we be given details about that if we are impacted?
Well, the line should be flushed clean. That being said, with the and maybe you can visit this, Ron, but once the water is just sitting for a bit, you may have just a little bit of settlement in your water that comes out when you initially turn it on. But no, you shouldn't have dirty water coming out of your faucets.
Yeah, I can comment on that too. Just past projects and, using a temporary kind of water system during replacement of existing water main is pretty common. It's their standard practice to make sure that people really aren't out of water for any longer than absolutely necessary. Once in a great while, and it's typically not the water within the water main or the temporary water main, but sometimes some of that switching over and shutting valves, either the curb stop for the home service or even shutting valves in the street, sometimes that can create a temporary disturbance that might knock a little bit of material loose in the pipe, or sometimes it's actually within the home itself. We've seen filter screens or things like that are within the home itself, and sometimes those can get moved around as the water is being shut off and turned back on. If there is a little bit of debris or discoloration that occurs with that sort of thing, it's generally very temporary. And so if that does occur, what we recommend for all property owners or residents that are on a project where this sort of work is occurring is simply to just run the taps while you're on temporary water. The nice thing is that everything bypasses your water meter. So you can run your taps if you do get a little bit of cloudy water discoloration. You can run them as long as you want until they start running clean, which usually doesn't take that long. And there's no charge for that water because, again, while you're on that temporary water system, it's bypassing your water meter. So that's what we recommend. If it doesn't clear up, within a reasonably short period of time after running your taps in your home for maybe, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes tops is usually all it takes to kind of clear anything out that might have knocked loose with the system through some of the, shutting off and shutting back on the water. Definitely call the hotline, or, Mark Lynch will be out on the project and he'll be available to help out and can usually kind of come and actually visit your home and check stuff out. And if he needs to get public works staff involved, for example, again, that would be another thing that we're going to want to know as soon as possible. So again, flushing will be usually the best remedy, and 9 times out of 10 or 99 times out of 100 even, that takes care of the issue. But certainly communicate with us if you see continued problems or anything like that. We'd want to know right away, and we can generally address it if we know about it at the very least.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for asking. Any other questions?
Nobody with their hand raised.
All right, rock and roll. On to the video. All right, so we're gonna change screens here. I got the volume up.
While you're doing that, Veronica, I'm just going to provide a little bit of a preamble here for the audience. So this video is a nice video that was created by a local community cable television organization, not in North St. Paul, but we've used it in
You're watching LMCC.
You want to stop that, Veronica? I'm still talking.
Day,
okay.
Any town you will see. The sun is.
All right, I just wanted to point out that this video was created as a overview for all types of reconstruction, so it's not necessarily going to represent exactly what we'll see on McKnight for this particular project. It does show much more excavation in a roadway than we will be seeing on McKnight Road. As Veronica talked about, a lot of the pipe replacement techniques are trenchless and will not require full trenches to be opened up or full removal of the roadway. So just so people understand that, this is just a good kind of general overview, and it's got some tips for people in terms of maybe how to interact with contractors, construction staff, and it's kind of entertaining too, I think. So hopefully you guys like it. We'll run the video, and Veronica, you're still blocking the lower left-hand corner of the video with your little gray out screen there, just so you know. All right, I'll let you hit the play button, and thanks for letting me introduce that, Veronica.
Thanks, Morgan. Was the audio okay when I fat fingered that before? Okay.
I think it will be just fine. You can go ahead and run it.
Okay, so here we go.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, and the people are peopling. Huh? Well, it looks like any town's inquisitive neighbor, Chuck Busybody, is working on a home improvement project. Let's say hello. Hey, Chuck, what are you up to? Yes, it looks like your street is scheduled for reconstruction this summer. Chuck, what are you doing? You should really let the city. Wait, is that a jackhammer? I don't think that was the best idea, Busybody. You should really leave the construction work to the professionals. Calm down, Chuck. Yes, the street reconstruction process can be confusing, and I'm sure you have a lot of questions. You may wonder, how long will this take? What will I see? What will I hear? Why are there tiny flags in my lawn? What happened to my mailbox? And how do I get my hands on a cool hard hat and safety vest? Well, never fear, Busybody. I have the answers you're looking for. Let me tell you a story. Street reconstruction is an inconvenient yet necessary process that begins many years before any work is done. Your city will determine which streets and utilities will be replaced 5 years in advance. Early in the process, neighborhood residents and businesses are invited to a meeting to learn about the project and are encouraged to provide feedback to the city. Once the project is approved by the city council, survey crews will be on site during the fall, the year before street reconstruction begins. There they will gather data to create construction plans to help guide the project through to completion. The following spring, the city council will select a contractor and then create a preliminary construction schedule that will be shared with property owners. Are you following along so far, Chuck? Perhaps you should take some notes. That's better. During pre-construction, survey crews and private utility companies stake and flag the project area. This is done so that crews know where things are located during construction. Temporary mailboxes may need to be installed just outside of the work area during a total street reconstruction. The post office will decide the date and location of the move. The project contractor will notify impacted homeowners when this is scheduled to be done. Additional prep work involves utility companies using excavation equipment to make repairs and improvements to existing utilities such as cable, electric, and natural gas. Saw cutting of driveways will take place during the pre-construction period as well. In addition, diseased trees or trees in the right-of-way will need to be removed prior to the start of the project. What was that, busybody? I don't think the crew needs your help removing trees, right guys? That's what I thought. Chuck? Never mind. The first step in the road reconstruction process is reclaiming the street's existing asphalt. The surface material is ground and mixed with the current gravel base to create a new foundation for the asphalt surface. After the asphalt is removed, residents should still have access to their homes and driveways. But please keep in mind that the roadway will be a bit dusty and bumpy at this point in the project. Next, temporary water lines will be connected to homes throughout the project area, causing periodic water main shutdowns. The lines will look like a garden hose and will be tested frequently so that it is safe to drink. During a total street reconstruction, existing sewer and water mains will be repaired, removed, and replaced. Crews will replace pipes connecting each property to the sanitary sewer and water main in the street. Once water mains are replaced, storm sewer installation begins in areas needing drainage improvements. The city will also dig out and replace any old manholes and catch basins during this phase of construction. After utility work is done, new concrete curb and gutter is installed. Any damaged or removed driveway aprons are also replaced at this time. This may limit access to driveways for up to a week, but residents will still be able to park near their homes. Once these stages of construction are complete, the first layer of asphalt is placed, and the road begins to take shape. Crews will do their best to keep the roads open during the paving process. The boulevard restoration process begins after the initial paving. Crews will install organically rich topsoil and sod along the curb line. Landscaping repairs are also done at this time. The last stage of construction is the installation of the final layer of asphalt. However, the final layer is most often paved in the spring in anticipation of road settlement. While living in the project area can be frustrating at times, I hope this summary gives you a better understanding of the process. Be sure to stay informed and sign up for weekly email updates from your city. Making sense now, busybody? Excellent. Now you're coming up, aces. That's right, Chuck. Unforeseen surprises can and will cause delays at the construction site. The biggest culprit is severe weather. Clear skies can turn dark quickly, bringing work to a grinding halt. Additional time can be lost waiting for the street materials to dry or work having to be redone. Other project delays can be caused by equipment breakdowns, poor soils, and unexpected archaeological finds. Wait, is that the Ark of the Covenant? Well, busybody, I hope you have a better understanding of the street reconstruction process. Great! Oh, that's a very nice gift basket. For me? Perhaps the crew would like it. No. Why don't you hold on to it for right now, Chuck? The guys will pick it up later. Well, my work is done here. See you later, Chuck, and good day to everyone in Anytown, USA.
All right. That's a wrap.
Again, thank everyone for attending the presentation. If you could please go to the city's website, northstpaul.org/alerts, set up your alert account. If you need help, please reach out to us at 651-747 2400 or send us an email at projects@northstpaul.org and we'd be happy to help you.
Sorry, Kara's trying to go back to this slide here.
Got another question coming in here.
Sorry.
That's okay. Go ahead, Christine.
Thank you. And maybe this is for Morgan or somebody from North St. Paul. Specifically, last year's project was on 13th and Ariel. And some of us on 13th did not get our sod replaced after they did I think it was the gas line or some of the gas. They had to dig deep holes. So, will that, yeah, the gas line assessment or whatever they did, they had to dig holes in our front yard, and we did not get sod put back down because the snow fell in October. What's the plan for the spring?
Well, we can check into that specifically. Some of the gas company work was up nearer to the home than where the city work was.
This is on the street. This is on.
It is on the street. Okay, well, we can follow up on that because the contract is still open. They still have some final paving to do, and they also have some final restoration to do. So if there is a spot that was missed that should be addressed, that's something we can work with the contractor on. Mark Lynch was a part of that project. Brad was a part of that project. Veronica was a part of that project.
Perfect.
So it's all the same team here. And if you'd like, we can, as soon as the snow melts, at least get a good look at what's going on and try to work with you to try to figure out how we can get that addressed.
I think it's more on the east side of 13. It's not just our house. There's quite a few of us out towards the east side. They finished the west. They finished what I can tell from what I can tell on Ariel, but the east side of the homes, not just ours, they did not finish resodding on the east side of Spirit Hills Lane.
Yes, that sounds about right. And, one of in working with some of the contractors, not all of them, but some of them last year, in my opinion, some of the sod and restoration happened later than I think we would have normally seen or like to have seen. And so there may be places where either they didn't get or that they need to redo this spring. And that's why we keep that contract open through the winter and take another look in the spring.
We did not get sod. Yeah, just to be clear, Morgan, we did not get sod at all. It was mud.
Right. So Mark, are you taking notes here? And
I'll take a look at it. I'll take a look at it.
I do remember, Christine, you were right, that it froze before. We had some scheduling issues with that contractor, and it ended up freezing before we were able to get something down.
Yeah. Yeah, the road was done and they came back to do the gas line after, which is unfortunate. And that's when they dug up our front yards by the curb. And so it never got resodded back. And it actually sunk a little too, because of course it settled. So it needs to be finished, I guess, is the key with sod and dirt and sod.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it. I know they did run out of sod also. So
okay,
we'll take a look at it.
And then it snowed. So, yeah.
Everything was happening at the wrong time. But yeah, again, that's why the contract stays open through the winter, and we typically don't close things out until we're a little more certain than we are at the time that the snow flies, that everything's been addressed, at least to the best of our ability. So I'm glad you raised your hand and mentioned something. So that is something we can take a look at.
Appreciate it. Glad we got the right players online. Thank you, Morgan.
Okay, team, I think that's a wrap. Thanks everybody for attending tonight, and we look forward to a successful construction season.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, guys. Good presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night, everyone. Good job, Veronica.